Welcome back. We were just laughing. We were cracking up.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Red Hill Racing Podcast slash apparently a news media outlet. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not safe for work. Definitely not safe for work.
Yeah.
Um,
Real
let's go
quick,
ahead. Let's
before
go
we go,
ahead. What are you doing?
just before we go crazy here, we're going to get back to the NHRA stuff after this show. We're
Yeah,
going to run this show and we're going to get back to the NHRA stuff. We've got interview things we're working on. We're going to
yep.
take care of that this week. You'll probably get another one next week because we're supposed to do these every other week this year, but it's not working out that way,
Y'all
right?
are
So,
killing us now. Y'all are
well,
killing us.
when the news is flying, we gotta make sure we spread the truth with an
Yeah.
F, truth.
Yeah, not safe for work. As Dustin said, we know once again, thank you to everybody, whether you're a fan, an actual pro stock motorcycle racing competitor, which we had like what, six, seven. We had more even lurking too. We might
Most
have had
importantly,
eight or
if you are
10.
one of our subscribers and loyal
Yeah.
followers,
Yeah. For
last
everybody that
week
tuned in.
last week was a really good, healthy conversation, and it severely well, it didn't really severely hit the fan on our end, but the interwebs, it got nasty this week. Well,
It did.
weekend, so
We're not we'll put it like this, and Dustin I was on vacation, a rare vacation this past weekend anyways, but there's some stuff that occurred that uh we're kind of hoping we don't have to address it personally too much more, but it was in it wasn't fun. So we'll deal
I
with what we
handled
need
it.
to. Yeah, Dustin handled it. I mean, like at the end of the day, you're dealing with a redneck and a hillbilly. So I mean, like, hey, it is what it is there. But
Ben called me and made sure I didn't have to tag him in. I said, "I got this, brother. You just
yeah.
enjoy your vacation."
Yeah, and that's what having a good brother teammates for. But yeah, I seen some of that BS. But yeah, we'll get to some of that in another episode. Like we said, we already had our boy Jason Miller from XDA scheduled to jump on. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's always good to have Jason in one of our beloved motorcycle racing series on. So we're gonna talk a little bit XDA changes coming up and just kind of get an overview. And of course, we banter about some other stuff, but yeah, y'all are working us to death. We're more than likely probably going to have a third week in a row, despite every other week next week. So
We got big plans. It's huge. The next one's going to be a
yeah,
banger because I'm about 95% sure it's going to happen.
yeah, we're just trying to lock in some dates and stuff now. And as always, our doors are open to anyone. Specifically, blah 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 blah. Specifically, any of you pro stock motorcycle racers, what anybody that needs to have a platform, we're here. We're here. We will not
You want us to ask
We
you
won't. We
questions? We'll
won't.
ask you
Yeah.
questions. But
We
if you
won't
don't want to
interrupt.
ask questions, we'll just listen to you talk. You can vent over here. Come on over here.
Yeah.
We'll let you vent.
I didn't watch. I watched one version of a supposed interview from the past couple days, but not the other one that apparently was very intrusive. So,
Oh,
anyways.
real quick, we have a new partnership,
Oh yeah, we got something
and they will be
cool.
on here for an interview before their season starts.
Are you gonna say it or can I?
Go
You gonna
ahead.
say
Go
it?
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh man, this is so exciting. So look. We're like little schoolgirls, just giddy with happiness. The one and only, the Larry Spider-Man McBride. He he called us up and he's our boy, he's our brother. He's an icon, a legend, first off, and he's like a mentor to Dustin and I for sure.
Talk
But
to Larry quite
anyways,
often. Not, me and Larry just
yeah.
talk on the phone just to talk about life. Now, we did talk more here recently, because of the things, but
The things.
yeah.
That's what we're gonna call it, the things. But anyways, Larry and Jimmy Brantley, the Hulk, like so as most of y'all know, we did talk about it year end last year at PRI show. Super exciting news for not only motorcycle racing, but the sport as a whole. That Top Fuel Motorcycles are racing at 4 events at NHRA this year. So long story short, we're working out some details, but we're going to do some cool stuff with Larry and Jimmy and hopefully maybe the class as a whole. So working on some things, but stay tuned. Probably going to have some cool stuff, some probably more giveaways for y'all if you're a subscriber. If not, then you're not doing life. That's for sure. So,
Just hillbilly and a redneck and our brothers. Just gonna
yeah.
partner up and help each other out and try to make sure we
Yes.
positively move our sport forward. And let's not worry about 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Look at that.
And
I got it to do it.
yeah, and lift ourselves
Did you see
up.
it?
Yeah, there's the hearts.
We
Yeah.
are all about love, peace and
And
love over here.
it's a cool thing. Larry wanted it really bad, and we was like, easy, like we'll make it happen. And Larry is first and foremost my friend. And
Oh, 100%.
I've got to know. I remember I watched Larry when I was a child. Larry didn't know who the hell I was, and one time Larry mentioned me in a interview at PRI, and we started talking, and before you know it, just become friends. It's easy when you're good people talking to each other, and you ain't got to fight it. But
Yeah,
we're going to be honored to be a part of their program, and they're going to be honored to be teamed up with us. And we're going to make sure we do things and try to help them and share the love. And another thing that we have to talk about is all these great sponsors all the way around me here.
that's right.
We're
That's
partners.
right. These sponsors are supporting the podcast. They're supporting the amazing giveaways that everybody that's signed up for gets, and we definitely appreciate them. And y'all need to shop with them because they don't. I mean, pretty much all these companies, they're not only supporting Red Hill, they're supporting the sport, they're supporting series, they're supporting
They're
classes. I mean,
giving
like,
back.
yeah, so you spend money if you got to spend it. First off, most of these companies, pretty much probably all of them, they're giving you the best deal. But if you need to spend a couple extra dollars, spend a couple extra dollars.
For a
Shop with these
person that can
businesses.
for a person that can relate to this,
Yeah,
the first of the year is rough for a business that supports the sport because you're shelling out money to support the sport. And then you're making money, but it don't go nowhere. And you're like, what's going on? And you're running circles and I'm broke and I don't know why. And I'm working really
yeah.
hard. So that's me right now. Every day I'm like, I'm working so hard, but all my money just goes toward other things that I've obligated to. And that's part of it though. Like the money goes a full circle. And so you don't feel like that when you buy a part for someone from someone that sponsors the sport or supports the sport, all you're doing is realistically just putting it back into your life,
Oh yeah,
realistically.
100%. Because without them, we wouldn't have these series and events
Without
excuse me,
them, we
attention.
wouldn't be sitting here talking to you probably because they're the one that
Oh,
makes this thing work.
100%. We
So,
love y'all, but oh
yeah,
my goodness, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to keep
we'd
going.
probably still do it because we're morons, right? But we'd
Probably.
definitely be probably slurping on romaine noodles while we're doing it.
Romaine.
My dad used to
Ramen.
say when it was winter time and we didn't make much money at the salvage yard, it was pond water and crackers. That's what we had to have
Oh
for
my
lunch.
gosh. Uh,
He had
oh
a pond
wow.
right beside the shop, so
There
we
you
didn't have to
go.
go far to get
There
it.
you go. We got to shout out Worldwide Bearings, Monster Race Products, BST and Brock's Performance. They're giving us a set of wheels to give away. MTC Engineering. We got a whole Gen 2 clutch from Eric and the team. Dave and the entire Schnitz Racing family. We got multiple $50 gift certificates. We got DME Racing. They're the giveaway tonight. One of many that they supplied. We are giving away a Gixxer 1000 billet oil pan. And I know my man Dustin, who is also obviously part of this, Hard Times Parts and Service. How much is that worth?
$500.
How much?
$500.
Yep, there you go. So that's one of the
$500.
giveaways. If you're a subscriber, automatically entered into that. Um, man, Penske Racing Shocks. Dustin and I have become super tight with our boy Dustin. Man, I'm looking over. I got back from vacation. My shock is returned. It's fully serviced. I've not even opened it yet, but got a phone call last week from my man. We went over the changes. That's what's cool. Like I sent Dustin my shock, um, sent him an email with just some baseline info. He calls me when he's going over it. Hey, I'm going over your shock right now. What do you think of this? I'm thinking that. We meet together and boom, then literally the next day it ships out. So we got a plan for that. And that's not to say my shock was having issues. It wasn't. I just sent it in for a service, but we wanted to make it better. And that's what's cool. So shout out to Penske Racing Shocks. The man, Dan Rudd, MPS Racing, Beth, the entire team down there. more gift certificates and giving those away. We're stockpiling these. We're going to start handing
Want to
these out for
want to butt
sure.
in real quick? Talk to Dan another day.
Yep.
A little bit of the interwebs conversation that he had read. He loves us. He loves our clientele. Just want to say, um,
Well,
he's thankful to be part of the podcast, and we're thankful to have him.
for sure, for sure. And then we got the entire team at Montgomery Motorsports. We got new to the podcast, Max ECU, Steve Nichols.
The
A
last show
Yep, yep.
jumped
Last
in.
show jumped on board. That was really cool. So we appreciate Steve. He's basically he is Max ECU US. So that's your go-to there. Um, you know, a lot of these companies, MPS, Hard Time, Schnitz Racing, so many companies sell this product. It's a great product. Obviously y'all know that. It's highly used. Also we got Mr. Burkhart, BMF Motorsports. He jumped on from the get-go last year. We just gave away to old peanut butter and jelly. Actually, Mike sent me the tracking confirmation. I need to check with James, but just got did that giveaway. I think what 2 weeks ago. So
Mm-hmm.
gave away a carbon fiber seat pan. Last but not least, we got our beloved University of Win. Members are learning how to win. We appreciate them.
And I do
We're
want to,
hey, it's our 1 year anniversary. Actually,
yeah,
I
it
totally
is. And
forgot about that.
I want to double attach something here. You was talking about Dustin at Penske, one of our university members got a shock from me, put it on his bike, butter out of the box. Went testing, everything looked good. I'm tuning this clutch, little things we're going to change, going to try it, but right out of the box, he nailed it again.
It works. It works good. By the way, if y'all are hesitant to join the school, like
Don't
the
be.
yeah, like just
We
talk
have
to somebody.
veterans in there, guys. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it ain't like you got to be a rookie to be in it. We have, well, James, Mr. James, the one that got the shot. He knows everything we know. We just talk about it and we all
Oh
air
yeah,
it
yeah.
out and we help each other. And there's things we have ideas and there's times he mentions stuff and we're like, hey, we forgot about that. That's a great idea.
Oh my
It's
goodness, yeah.
beneficial for anyone. I'm telling you, you could get a vet in there that wins. I mean, me and Ben are there. We win, we do well, and we still out here learning with people that's joining us. I mean, we teach them, they
Yeah.
still teach us stuff. It's a family, it's a group. Um,
It's a great
everybody
community.
everybody is positive, problem solving. I mean, this week we were talking about land speed, which is out of my element. I don't know nothing about it. Hey, no offense to y'all land speed guys. You call it racing. I don't think it's racing, but whatever. Call
Oh,
it whatever
easy
you
now,
want.
easy now. We gonna start us off on a wild goose chase.
I mean, you're racing a clock. That's what you're
Yeah,
racing.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah.
But basically, look, here's the deal. Um, it's worth it. Trust me. And if it's
For
not,
sure.
if look, if you join and say you join for a month and you're like, this is complete garbage, this is bullshit. First off, you're not gonna say that. But if you happen to think that, just send me a message. Like I'll refund you. If you go to the website, there's a guarantee. Like I'll refund you your money. Like we're not trying to sell you something that doesn't work,
No,
but just look at the results. Actually, shout out to our boy Dylan who kicked off the year last weekend, went to
bam.
the first VMP points race and won. Dylan had not, and I know he won't take offense to this, Dylan had not won a race before last year. He went on a
Mm-mm.
tear and won like 4 or 5 races in a row, won
He
a
kicked
track
my butt at
championship.
Virginia.
Yeah, beat Dustin's at VMP, which is no easy task. Trust me,
Went on to
y'all.
win the
I
race.
know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and we're not taking all the credit. Dylan was a good racer, but he was missing these little details. And I'm telling you, especially look, if you're a beginner racer, well, you'll know everything. If you're a average racer that wins some rounds and you're just you know you're missing out, you guys are going to see almost immediate results because you're only missing one or two little key ingredients that boom, next thing you know, you're turning on that final win light. And we saw it
If
last
we can
year.
help you win one round, we done a good job. That's the way I look
Oh
at it.
yeah.
Like you could be one round away from sealing the deal, and we helped you get that round. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And
So
then honestly, if it's a decent race, you could pay for the whole year subscription when that one round win that we help you get. So
oh,
it's
a
it's
hundred
it's
percent.
all you're doing is investing in yourself. It's if you want it now, you have to want it. You have to read and listen and pay attention and try to have drive to want it. If you do, you're good.
Yeah. And
Gonna be all
just to
right.
recap that real quick, like there's audio and or a video version of every lesson. So if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it. And we have weekly chats to discuss anything and everything. So that's kind of the bulk of it. We have a pre-structured system, different courses. You go through the courses, kind of in sequence, and by the time you're done, you know everything. I mean, legit. I mean, you can go
You
back and
can ask
revisit.
questions about some
Yep.
stuff just to verify you understand it. And between me and Ben, we'll figure it out. And you might even, I mean, we had guys come in there, and the last we do Zoom calls every week. And the last one we had, a guy was mentioning some number stuff that, to be honest, I never thought about. And his
Yeah.
his method is not wrong. So
Yep.
I was like, all right, I'll save that in my brain here, if I
Yeah.
don't forget it. And it's all information is good information as long as you take it and use it wisely. So
Yeah. And like I said, it's if you're hesitant, just sign up for a monthly membership. You can cancel at any time. We don't ask questions. If you don't like it, that's cool. Go on. So that's it. We don't want
was
to
that
I
all
don't want
our
to
due
spill.
diligence other than just giving some stuff away?
Well, we definitely appreciate not only our sponsors who we're surrounded by.
Our
Lots of love. Let's
subscribers.
see if I can get it to go
Got to
again.
make
Hold
it
on.
beat. You got to use your. There it
There we
goes.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Zoom doing it up. Yeah, we're gonna get back to pro stock motorcycle stuff. Probably next week, whether we want to or not. And yeah, I think that's about it. We talked about the Hulk and the Spider-Man. We got all the cool badass racers supporting Red Hill. It's awesome, man. It's
Nope.
exciting.
The
Yes,
real
so
racers.
we'll do a giveaway right now. You ready? We're gonna do
Yeah, we're
the
gonna
number generator tonight.
we're gonna do the number generator because last week the pro stock crew wanted to do the wheel,
Yep.
and we're gonna generate a number and see who wins the
All right.
GSXR DME oil pan.
We
And
here? Can you see it all? Is
yep,
it the whole
yep, I
screen?
can see it. Yep, you got number minimum 3 through
All right.
129.
We will refresh real quick.
And by the way, while it's refreshing, you just heard me. Out of
What's this thing
129
doing?
subscriptions, we'd like to have, my goal would be 21 more. And sign your wife up, your kid, whatever, get double chance. You don't get removed if you win. You stay in, you keep playing.
Yeah.
You can win 3 or 4 of these things if the number favors in your
All
number.
right. You
All
ready?
right.
Where's the
3 through
drum roll?
29. 3
Drum
through
roll.
129. Here we go. You click it.
We, no, yeah, I'm waiting for a drum roll.
I can try to do it with my
I'm
hands.
just
Here we
kidding.
go.
I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 41.
41.
All right, let's see here. Pull up the trusty spreadsheet. Oh my
Oh, your
gosh. I
brother.
promise that's not rigged. Um, all right.
Oh, Stefan. Old
Okay, well,
Stefan.
I know y'all are gonna say, but there's no way that was rigged.
No.
And Steven did pay. My brother did pay. He's not allowed to get into
Well, if you
anything if he
watch
doesn't
this
pay.
on YouTube, you'll be able to see it yourself. So,
Yeah, so congrats to my brother. I'm not
yeah,
really sure what he's gonna do with the Gixxer oil pan. So
he'll
you know
probably
what?
have it for sale.
Either that or, I might be able to strong arm him. We'll see. It's not something he can use, so I might be able to strong it might be a
Back in
donation.
the giveaways.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Spencer last week
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
want to be a school member. We called him up right away. We'll see. If not, congrats to my brother. He paid. He was a paying school member
Yeah. I
last
mean, my
year, paying
brother's in here, guys.
subscriber.
He might win
Yep,
one. I
that's
don't
right.
know.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
all
mean,
right.
I ain't going to tell my family members to not support us.
Yeah.
So that would be retarded. And if they're
Oh,
going to gamble and support us, we're going to help them.
yep,
So
yep, for
it is what it
sure.
is.
The one last thing I was going to go over though, if you don't understand the giveaways, what you're doing is you're going to redhillracingpodcast.com. You go in the shop. You're buying a swag subscriber pack. You get a t-shirt, you get a koozie, you get stickers, and you get a bottle buddy. Right here. Bottle buddy tool. We're just waiting on the t-shirts, y'all. I know you've heard us saying this for a while. T-shirts are ordered, expected to have them within the next week or two. As soon as we get those, me and my beloved wife will be packing up 100 at this point 129 packages,
And you throw
shipping
some
them out.
respect on that because she's
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah, she is way pregnant right now. So those are coming. It's I don't know, give or take $70 value, but that you're buying something. You get those items, all those items with your subscription, and
And
then
then
you
you
get
get
entered into
chances to win
all
something.
these giveaways. And like Dustin said, the reason so nobody you can win as many as you want. It's all random, and here's why: because we have prizes ranging from gift certificates to full carbon fiber wheels, and we appreciate like they're all adding up, right? But if you won a $50 gift certificate and then didn't have a chance at a clutch or wheels or whatever high dollar item, that just wouldn't make sense. So it's just
No, no,
totally
no.
random.
It's
We're gonna,
random, luck of the
yeah,
draw. I mean, you could win one, you could win none, you could win five.
yep,
We don't know. We're
yep.
going to find out together, though, every one of us. So,
Exactly. Exactly. But we're gonna have plenty of winners. We're excited. We appreciate everybody who's already signed up. That's where the money basically supports the show, pays for all the cost overheads, and it gives us a little bit of ice cream change, as Dustin would say. So it's
yeah,
good because
take
we
baby
spend a
girl out
lot
to
of time.
Sonic. She
Yeah, we spend a
loves
lot of
cookie.
time.
She calls it cookie ice cream, which is pretty much anything with Oreo. That's my kids' go to every
Cookie
time.
ice cream. Yeah, Walker's getting close to be wanting to do that soon. So um
I don't know if I'd start it. It's a
sure.
constant battle over here. She wants ice cream every day.
The only time I've taken him to get ice cream, he actually did not want it.
Oh,
So
really?
he must have been
Yeah,
too young. I don't know.
probably.
And then he made a mess and threw it everywhere, and I was not happy. All right. Is that all we got?
Y'all are going to get to crack open a little XDA. Of course, you don't
Yep.
know because the post is going to say it. Just a little, preseason XDA. Talk about the changes. Talk about the money. I think he said throughout the season, $500,000 of money that you could win. That's a lot.
Contingency. It's
I need
like
to get in more classes, I guess, or something. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of wanting to slow down classes, not add more, but it just the money, just like, hey, let's try to get that. But
yeah, a
whatever.
lot of money on the line.
Uh,
Contingency. I think it was what 150,000 in contingency.
yeah,
If
a
y'all don't
little,
know about contingency, go to the excuse me, xdaracing.com, click on the contingency tab, look at the company support and make sure you got their stickers, indoor products. It tells you what you need to do, but do that
yeah.
before your season starts.
There's also a little bit of Dustin trying to get Jason on one of his bikes just to make some laps.
Yeah, yeah.
Give him
We'll
the
talk about
itch,
that.
get him back
Trying to
out there.
get him out there for sure.
I still think that my top sportsman bike on motor would be the perfect bike for him just to make laps on. It's effortless to ride. It does nothing but just go down through there. Can I talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just dying. Look, the instant smile on my face. So anybody that's following us here, obviously friends with me on Facebook and obviously watched how hard that I've worked since December. I started early this year to get things done early. So, and it didn't quite work out as early as I wanted to, but I spent a lot of my money. I'm broke. I'm tired. Uh, but I have done everything on the bikes that I had issues with. My Old Faithful wasn't Old Faithful at all last year. And we went testing again Sunday. This is my fourth time testing. Ben's bike ain't even ready to go to the racetrack, let alone the trailer. And
Can't even get off the
anyway,
lift right now.
yeah.
Shit.
Anyway, man, both of them, I actually put a new fuel pump on my top sportsman bike. And because I noticed in the data that it was asking for fuel and it's never done that. And I'm like, why? So I pulled the pump out. I was going to check the filter because it never been out since 2018. I thought, boy, I'd be a really tight wad if I didn't put a new pump in this thing after 6 years of use. So I put a new pump in it, went the track, and off the trailer, it went a 560, trimmed some fuel out, basically put it right back to where it used to be, 560. I was like, all right, let me try my top gas tune up, 510. Let me put my 50 tune up in it, five flat, or 498. I'm sorry. And I said, oh, let me go back and make another motor hit, make sure it's good, 560. And then Old Faithful, man, she is living up to her name, 561, set for 3 hours, 562 with a zero. I'm all that hard work. And the reason I'm saying this on here is because, yeah, it sucks. It really does suck working your butt off all winter and then pretty much all season too. But when the reward of doing so shows you that the work was worth it, it's very rewarding. I was very happy to load them up and know they're good to go. No problems from the get go this whole season. When I come out, Gage wired the bracket back for me, Old Faithful as I call it, and shifting gremlins are gone, which I'm pretty sure it was a fuse box problem fixed. Um, I have two really good bikes for me, and then if everybody's seen that my wife's bike wasn't blue, it's purple, and it's a very cool purple. It
Dude,
pictures
that
does
thing looks
not
badass. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, the pictures does not do it justice. I'm jealous. I look at my bikes; they've been painted since 2020, and I'm like, man, they look so dingy now. And hers is all shining, fresh, clear. I'm like, man, like I want to go buff mine or something to make them look good. I need more boat metal flake in mine or something to make them look nice. But that bike, shout out to DME. No, it wasn't a big list of things. Front rack, Demi. I hated the pipe because it's got a boost motor and jigsaw. It just didn't sit right. Custom exhaust, Demi done. Front rack for booster gauges on a jigsaw, which is you just can't order. You have to just make it right. And a paint job. I haven't even changed the oil in it yet. It's ready though. It's ready to go to the racetrack. And I'm gonna take it Friday and play. And then this weekend, our local track. If you're listening to this and you're close by, we're having a IHRA spectacular race. What that is if you win the spectacular, you go straight to the worlds. There's no go to the bracket finals for a shot to go to the worlds, yada, yada, yada. It's just as good as winning your track championship. You don't have to go to the bracket finals if you do that. So you just come here, you win, you go to the world finals. Payout structure is if we have 30 bikes, it pays $1,000. Pretty good little deal. What are you laughing about?
Sorry. Well, I was trying to bring some. One, I didn't think my brother would be awake at this point because it's almost 10 o'clock. But I texted him to let him know he wanted to build an oil pan to see if we could speed this process up. But not sure it's going to work out the way we wanted, y'all. He quote
Okay.
unquote said, "Fuck yeah." I told him what he wanted. Then he said, follow that up with how much is that worth? And I told him, and he responded with, guess I got to buy a Gixxer now. So
More support for our sport. We're
sorry,
helping the
y'all.
sport grow. All our sponsors is probably going to sell parts now. Look what
Yeah,
we did.
yeah, for sure. That's what he
Yeah.
needs. He does not even racing right now. Anyways,
Well, that's
this
just a
there.
backup bike for Darnell because he don't maintenance his.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, let's see if Zoom has something for that. Love you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. There could be a brand new Gixxer oil pan for sale soon. I'll let y'all know.
So saying that, me and Ben are the total opposites. You guys just now heard me preach about being ready.
Oh,
Ben's
they ought to
been so
know.
damn
Yeah.
busy that he ain't done but removed a shock, but he probably ain't going to do anything. He's got to come down here in 3 weeks. So I don't know what he like. He's
I'm
got a
gonna
lot
bring
to
a
do.
trailer full of shit to work on. I'm gonna show up like we're gonna go to SDBA and I'm gonna hit the season opener. I'm starting to make that a tradition. At least that's the plan right now. And yeah, we'll probably what? When do you leave out? Thursday for those?
Yeah, I usually drive down Thursday and then just sleep and then get up Friday morning and then be there.
Yeah, Dustin's gonna be anticipating me Thursday showing up, and I'm gonna show up like Monday night, bright eyed and bushy tailed, and let's get after it.
Hard times is busy on Mondays. So I don't know what to tell you on that. I'm going to put you
Tuesday
to
night.
work.
Tuesday night. Tuesday night. We'll be there thrashing.
Yeah.
Thrashing.
Oh, dear.
Hey, if you ain't got a bike to work on, if Spencer ain't got a bike to work on, y'all are gonna be bored. So I'll just bring shit to work on, is all I'm saying.
Spencer will be bored. We can call Spencer down here and he can just work his little heart out. I've done
Yeah.
my work. I'll supervise. I'll hand you guys
Oh,
tools. Like, here's
that'll
your
work.
10,
Hey, that'll
here's
work.
the 12.
I need support from my homies for sure. All
The
right.
perk is I have 4 bike lifts now. So we got somewhere to put it.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's it's almost 10 o'clock. We gotta wrap this up.
Yep. Enjoy the show here
Yep.
with Jason and get
Mr.
you a little
Miller.
preseason XDA talk just about the changes and the reasons and just good stuff, all good stuff. Getting everybody
Think
prepared. It's here.
I'm gonna
Three or
still
four
a
weeks.
ET gangster. Doesn't he say get some XDA all up in you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Get some
some little Jeff
XDA up in you.
Santine.
Yeah, yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead and get you some XDA all up in you. So yeah,
Yep.
enjoy this little interview with the man, the myth, Mr. Jason Miller, and we'll probably see y'all again next week. Or you'll
Yeah,
hear from us probably next week.
yeah. That's probably it.
All right, y'all.
Bye. One more
Ah,
heart to
there
go.
it is.
Ah, there it is.
Peace and love. See
All right.
y'all.
See you.
All right, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, former racer, former Pinks winner, right? I think.
Second place.
That
Second
Second
was
place.
a
place.
that was
Oh,
a
sorry.
jab.
Nah. Hey, man, that was so long ago. We got to remind people you were on Pinks, though. We probably got to explain what Pinks is anymore. That's
I know,
crazy.
right?
We're
It's
starting to
been,
Yeah.
get
it's been a minute.
we're starting to get a little old that we have
I
to
was about to
explain
say
that.
that. We're getting old. That's
Ah.
exactly what it is.
Well, we have
Yeah.
none other than Jason Miller joining us tonight, as you all can see and do, because Dustin, I always forget that we lead up like it's a surprise. But Jason's here, join us, talk a little XDA, get excited for the season. We're close. We're close. We're what? We're actually less than 4 weeks out, right?
Less than 4 weeks. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's coming up there, coming up quick. Appreciate you guys for reaching out and giving us the opportunity to talk about 2024 season. So
Oh yeah.
excited about this season. Some of the tweaks and stuff we've made. The program has improved the last several years, little by little, kind of fixing little things that we can fix. Certain things obviously out of everyone's control, but we're going to keep just evolving with the program and just try to make it better for as many people's needs as we can. And so we're excited about this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Dustin and I, as you know, and most people that listen, watch, whatever, Dustin and I are frequent flyers. That's our go-to. That's my main series. I try to sneak out when I can. I've just been so busy and family, but Dustin pretty much hits that in SDBA religiously. And we're super excited to always pull into an XDA because we know exactly what we're getting. It's well run and kind of which we'll segment into here in a second. But like you said, you got a well-oiled machine and y'all don't quit. It's never good enough, always having to try and make tweaks and changes to just put on a better program. And yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we like that you guys, never rest on what's happening. So let's you want to run down real quick through the season schedule. We got 6 races on tap, right?
6 races this year. We've been a 6 race series since the start of XDA, and then after COVID, when we lost some events there, we because of the pandemic, we went to 7 events the following year to try to make up for some of the lack of racing we did the
That's
year
right.
before, and it kind of felt like it was just a little too much dilution for the marketplace at the time. So the following year, we went down to 5 events and so forth, and just trying to find the right balance. And had a lot of input from racers. We made some polls on the XDA Racers Facebook group, and a majority of folks wanted to go back to 6 races, and just kind of felt like since the majority of our years have been at 6 races, go back to it for this year and have our season start in April, and then in October is kind of really when the bike season is. You can race a little longer if you go down south, but at least up here in the Northeast, April, October seems to be the right time slot here for us.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where, you can't win or lose with that one. You're going to get complaints either way. You're going to get people cheering you on either way. It doesn't matter whether you have 5, 6, or 9 or 19. Somebody's going to be happy and somebody's going to not be happy. But I think
Yeah.
6 seems to be the right number, from what I've gathered and, kind of vibe for everybody. So we're excited. I mean, it's we can't really complain. It's another weekend that we get to hang out with our friends, and that's what Dustin and I enjoy doing nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
the
keep
six,
everybody hungry.
yeah, the 6 races works out pretty well with 4 week spacing. Last year we had 5 to 6 weeks between events, so some folks got a little restless between the long breaks. And back to a 6 race schedule, we're generally about 4 weeks apart, so it gives opportunity for everybody to get their bikes back in order, freshening things up, particularly for the pros and grudge. Give some of our bracket guys opportunity to get out and hit some other events between the deals, and also for a lot of the racers that are family folks that want to spend some time with the wife and kids. Um, and to do that, and gives everybody a chance to pick up some other hobbies and do things with some of their family, and keep a well-rounded deal. I ran in 2017, the year before we started XDA. I ran a dirt bike series, kind of for fun, old slow guy class, a 40 plus class, and there were 17 races in the
Are you
series, and
serious? Was it
yeah,
that many?
17
Damn.
races, and we committed to it that year because I had nothing else on my plate. We were sitting on a 2-year non-compete and clause, and so I want to keep myself busy. And we signed up for that deal, ran for the championship, and there were so many races. We did it one year. When I say we, me and my wife, she traveled with me to all the events, and we did it one year, and it was just crazy. Never had time for anything else. Just consumed too much of the schedule. And to this day, her and I talk about it. We're like, if this was a 6 or 7 race deal, we would probably still be doing it today. We had some time to do some other things. So I think it's important, and not just try to consume or demand everybody's time. And for some of the folks that want to race a little more often, then there's a lot of other great opportunities, other events and series out there for them to kind of fill in the gaps of whatever else they want to compete with as well.
It's always good to support your local track if you got time. That's always a good thing
Right.
to do. I mean, you guys at Maryland have a great bracket program on the weekends that a lot of racers that race XDA attend. So there's a balance to it for sure. You
Right.
can't
Right.
make it
For
a
sure.
job.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's 17 is so many
Yeah.
races.
I
That's
I want
so
to tell you,
many for a series. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
we were a little concerned at the beginning of the year, and then by getting through. I mean that the Supercross season, we're following that. There's 6 races left in the Supercross series, and they got 17 races from January to May, and then they go 11 races after that. From I think it's May until August, end of August or early September. And then they got a 3-race SMX series. So it's like, those guys are racing. I mean, literally every weekend or every other weekend for the most
Wow.
part. And, big commitment. Dirt bike guys, a little nuts. So
Different whole world right there.
yeah, it
They
is. It is.
that's their
Yep.
It is.
life.
There was a
Yep. Yep.
time and day when Dustin and I did that crazy shit, but it wasn't in one series. That was like 3 series right there for 17 races.
Three and a
Holy
half,
cow.
I'd call it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For
Um,
sure. For sure.
so let's talk about it. What I don't think there's anything major that I recall, but let's go over some of the changes real quick and make sure everybody's well aware if they haven't already. They should be because of the great promotion we get. We get notified pretty well.
Yeah, we got a pretty good machine. Chris and I've been working on it for a long time. You back shoot. This is now really between my Rock IDBL and now XDA. It's been 25 years, between the three deals. So it started back in '99, and 25 years now under different banners, but the
Right,
same
yeah.
basic program involving with. But essentially, this year, the program has grown. We have our sportsman counts have been really steady and supportive for all these years. Our grudge and our bulls program has really grown,
Yep.
and our pro program has grown tremendously as well. We have 40 to 50 460 bikes at every race. We're getting 20 plus super stocks, 20 plus pro street bikes at every race. Full real street scene full fields at 16 bikes. Pro extreme kind of steady around the eight bike mark. And then with bulls, we've been averaging anywhere from 40 plus bulls per race. And then with our grudge program. So, really the biggest deal in the program this year changes has really only been the scheduling, for this year,
Right.
from the 5 events to 6 events, and then just the actual event schedule itself. The purse structure is the same. We've been managed to keep our entry fees the same cost. We haven't raised them, even despite some of the other expenses that we've seen
Inflation.
this year. Exactly.
Thank you for that. We
We've been able
appreciate
to
that.
keep.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We've been able to keep entry fees the same. We've been able to keep the tickets to admission tickets the same prices this year. Testing the same prices. So really come down to schedule. And our Friday program has worked really well. Last year we went away with one less pro session. Last year did the pro preps every 3 hours. That gave us a lot more time to run sportsmen in between the pro prep sessions, because before they were every 2 hours. And there were 5 of those sessions on Friday. Now there's 4, and they're every 3 hours. So it took about 2 hours on Fridays to run the pro sessions. And by the time we finished it, it was time to run the pros right back again, and we didn't have time to run the sportsmen. So the 3 hours gave us time to run an hour of the sportsman between which we get more sportsman bikes down per minute than we can the pros. Sportsman guys rock the pace there, and we're able to
It
get
was so much
done.
better. It was
Yeah.
so much better last year.
Yep.
That was the perfect thing that happened. I think it was great.
Yep. Yep. So that worked out really nice. And the only real change this year in regards to Friday is now the test session on Friday, instead of being 11 to 11, is now 10 to 10. So we just moved everything up an hour earlier. We have so many racers on Friday, racers coming to XDA on Thursdays now and Friday morning that are testing for Friday. So they're there in the morning. And what this will do is get everybody out of there an hour earlier on Friday. So the pro qualifier Friday night will now be 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. Like it was last year, which is
Nice.
the way it used to be years back. But I'm not trying to confuse everybody, but between the pro preps every 3 hours that we changed to last year, we had to bump it up an hour earlier to make the last one land to 8 instead of 9. And so pros are running an hour earlier Friday. One of the issues is they didn't want to run so late in the night, and this will help them. Some of them made some comments online and was asking for this, so we looked at it and then made that edit this year. So basically, Friday testing is an hour earlier. Pro qualifier is now 8, back to 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. There, and on the other big change is the pros on Saturday. Now there's going to be 2 qualifiers on Saturday instead of 3 like we used to have. There used to be a time when we could run 3 pro qualifiers on Saturday, but with And like I was saying earlier, with the amount of pros that we have, the amount of bulls that we have, and we first started doing the bull classes, a lot of classes were only 2 or 3 rounds, but now we've got most of them that are going 3 to 4 rounds, eliminations, because there's so many of them now.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's a good show you
yeah,
got going
yeah,
on now
Yeah,
with
the
the
grudge
Bulls.
is
yeah,
deep right now. It's awesome.
it really is a great show. And between the amount of bulls that we have and the amount of pros that we're getting now at the XDA, they command some more time. So instead of robbing our sportsman racers, been a few times we've had to interrupt the bracket bash to get the sessions in that night, and we got to have a fair race for everybody. So we went ahead now to 2 pro qualifiers on Saturday instead of 3. And what this does is it gives us time to make sure that we finish the bulls eliminations at night. Is the only qualifier, excuse me, they're only eliminator for the weekend. And it also gives us an opportunity to run the bracket batch and finish those to completion at these events without issues. And it freed up enough time that now we can move top sportsman eliminations to Saturday.
Right, right.
Sports eliminations from the very beginning was on Sunday, but this is what happened. We had a couple of races the past 2 years where we had rain on Sunday and we eliminated top sportsmen on Saturday with the other categories. So we beat the rain on Sunday. And we had a lot of top sports racers come up to us. Hey guys, we really love this getting eliminated on Saturday. Is there a chance that next year? Kind of sparked the thought a lot of the racers. So we had so many of them coming up to us and saying, hey, why don't you move top sports eliminations to Saturdays instead of Sundays? And then that way on Sunday, we can focus on Pro AT instead of having to hot lap the bike so much and get
Right.
back in. What this also did was allowed us to move the Pro ET to the front of the run order on Sunday instead of being the last. And Pro ET is the biggest class, and it's the last class to go down as sportsman. And when you mix up 1 round of pros in between there on Sunday, I mean, we weren't starting first round with 150 bikes in Pro ET until 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Right.
And so all these Pro ET racers were having to stick around so late in the day because we didn't start the base class until the last class in rotation on Sunday. So by limiting top sports on Saturday now, it allows us to start first round of Pro AT on Sunday morning, first thing down the racetrack, start splitting that field in half early and get everybody out here a better time. It's a little hard on staff, particularly the track staffs, to work these events, but more importantly with our racers, a lot of these guys are traveling, 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours or more to these events. They got to be back at work on Monday. So
That's me.
they don't want to race until 8 o'clock at night on Sunday. So we believe with a new schedule that we can finish more events around that 5:30, 6 p.m. Time range on Sunday. That's what we're really shooting for this year.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's all good stuff. Getting done on Sunday is the best part of it for me. If
Yeah.
and we have a little window there, if there's weather or whatever, it helps. It's really a good thing.
We didn't have that option to do top sportsman on Saturday before, unless you dropped a pro round. We've talked a lot of the pros about this before, and just about the amount of time that it takes, and particularly carnage is higher than it used to be, and the amount of pros that we were getting. So, most events are shooting to get everybody 2 or 3 qualifiers in. 4 qualifiers is kind of like everything goes perfectly, no bad weather, and
Yeah, that
carnage
was
is down to a
hard to
minimum.
do.
And it is. So the pros will still be at 2 o'clock for the first qualifier. And then instead of the last qualifier being at 8 p.m. like it was the last several years, we moved it up an hour earlier. So it's 7 now instead of 8. And so basically their qualifier on Friday and Saturday, both are the last qualifier each day is 1 hour earlier than it was last year. So kind of appeased those guys for taking that into consideration. It gives more time for top sportsmen to get done. It gives more time for bracket bash to get done and the run of the bulls elimination. So we're excited about all those changes. One other thing I want to add to this, not to run on this too long, but the other benefit of doing top sportsman on Saturday is that for the guys that are running the same bike in Pro ET on Sunday, being that now everybody's going to start all the top sports bikes, whether you lose first round or go to the finals, will all run first round of Pro ET on Sunday. We
Right.
outline that in our season changes. But one of the benefits by doing that, it obviously makes points a lot easier. The race is easy. It doesn't add another round to the race like it does a lot of times with guys dropping in later in rounds. It's fair for all competitors. But the one other thing it does is for the guys that are running the same bike and both, if they have a slower bracket bike, now you can take your tech sticker off your top sportsman bike on Saturday after you've been eliminated or you went to the final and bring it to tower. We'll switch it out for another sticker, and then you can put it on your slower bracket bike for Sunday if you want to keep the laps off of your fast bike. So some guys really like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
I
that.
know. Yeah, I know. I know. I emailed you before last year about basically the
Right.
same
Yep.
circumstance. Only obviously with it being same day, it was a little bit more involved doing that. And as Dustin started to speak up, I'm sure like it's nice to have that option. And that's what I, relayed to you during that info. We've got these dang top sportsman bikes that are so
Yeah.
fast and capable now that was my whole thing last year was like, it's very hard if you lose first round or you win the top sportsman
Yeah.
race, it doesn't matter. But anything in between, it's really hard to turn these bikes around. They're not a pro street, but like it's still, 10, 15-minute routine that Dust and I are going through. And we also don't want to slow up this show. So yeah, I mean, that's nice. Like I'm fairly confident that I'll probably be riding my slow bike on Sunday and just only running
Right.
the blower bike on Saturday. So I wasn't opposed to that. I will say I was a little selfishly mad that like, damn, I can't win top sportsman and fall in like the last semifinals. But taking
Yeah.
taking the selfishness out, right? And just
Yeah.
thinking from and I feel like Dustin's the same way, but I've always been the broad thinking of like, ET bracket racing, it has to be fair. And that's why I've always like True Start personally, but that's another subject another day. But like I do like the fact that hey, it's 100% everybody on Sunday is now starting round one. And if you're
Right.
gonna be a badass and win Pro ET, you got to go through 8 rounds, give or
Yeah.
take. So
And
that's
and
pretty
that's the thing. I
badass.
mean, in the past, we weren't able to do it by everybody switching to a different bike if they went rounds in top sportsman because they would been skipping rounds in pro ET, so it'd be switching a
Right.
bike, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, because they're eliminated the different day on Saturday, now everybody's starting a first round, so switching a bike for Sunday when you're starting first round is all good, right?
Yeah.
So that's all. So that makes that very possible. The other thing in the past, because hot sportsman bikes were dropping in later rounds, sometimes certain people were thinking they were in the quarters of the semis, and then here comes another top sportsman guy, and they made their deal with somebody else for a split, and find out the dollar's not there because it's around behind instead of around what they think they're in.
A lot more
That's happened
confusion.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So plus hammering the
Damn.
ladders, all kinds of stuff. There were definitely
Makes
some caveats, and
points a lot easier to track too. That's just something
it's
that,
easier. Yeah.
I never
And
even
and
thought
then
about the money talk about that. Just like
yeah,
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know. I guess I've just never fallen in around one way or the other. But that's
Something
a real
else
concern.
even is the like if people like drop their top sportsman bike out and then run their slower bike in pro ET, it's also maybe taking the likelihood of carnage
Yeah,
away
yeah,
because you
Right.
got
Right.
a faster bike that's on the edge that you're not
I'm all about
racing
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Less,
Yep. Yep.
things happen, right? I mean, a
Right.
hillbilly builds my motor, so I'm just waiting on the day that I tear stuff up. But uh, I have once. I kicked the chain off and made a mess. But other than that, I've been good. But it just,
But
the less likelihood of it is better, right? That's the point. So,
so yeah. So just to be clear for the guys that are listening in and have ran both top sportsman or pro ET in the past or both, it's still the same deal. Everybody shows up, you buy your pro ET tech car like normal.
yep,
And then if you're fast enough to qualify for the 32 spots, instead of running on Sunday, you just run Saturday night. But regardless of whether you qualify, you don't qualify, you lose first round or you lose finals, you're still in the Pro ET race on Sunday. No extra charge because you already bought the Pro ET tech card. Top
right,
Sportsman is now strictly a bonus race. So you run on Saturday night, you run your program, and whether you eliminate it or you don't qualify or first round or finals, you just run Sunday, first round Pro ET, and keep them just two separate independent events. Hot Sportsman is just a bonus race if you're fast enough to make that field. So, um,
yeah.
and then it gives those guys on Saturday night, instead of running one eliminator and bracket bash, if you're fast enough to qualify, now you have two eliminators on Saturday night that will more keep you busy. And
Yeah. I like it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be a good deal.
You can't give us
Um,
bracket guys a whole lot of free time. We'll be doing wheelies on golf carts
yeah,
and all kinds of stuff.
shit.
it
Oh
really,
man,
really pride ourselves in the bracket program here. It's definitely the backbone of the series. I mean, with the Hard Times Park Service game was raced on Friday night, and then you got the bracket bash on Saturday. You got the Mickey Thomas Top Sportsman, MPS Pro ET on Sunday with the one side speed 560, and then the Brox Point Street ET. There's opportunities every day for bracket guys to turn that win light on and take on some cash that night. So
yeah.
we definitely enjoy that part of the program.
And I
I feel
think
like there's
one.
got to go ahead,
Go,
Ben.
you go ahead. You
I feel
first.
like at one of these races this year, I'm going to have to stick Jason on my top sportsman bike on motor for the gamblers race. Just go out there and make laps. Dude, it's boring. Like it's auto shift. You just throw a lever. It's like the easiest thing in the
Wait,
world.
wait, are we
And that,
persuading Jason to put leathers on it? I didn't know that's
Hell
what was
yeah.
happening.
I'm gonna say right now, that was the first thought I had. I don't even think I fit in my leathers anymore.
Oh, I
So,
got some. They'll flop in the wind on you. We'll be fine.
yeah.
Oh man,
Going
I
down
was
some of my notes here on some of the other tweaks here. Let's see here. Went over all that. Went over the uh, pros are back to the uh, original qualifying time on Friday, and then an hour early, on Saturday. And so on Pro Extreme is going to run all the events this year except for the Bike Fest. They've typically went to a 6-race schedule. They only ran 5 events because many of them run over the PDRA as well.
right.
So they want to try to balance that out. And then the ATV Invitational Shootout will not only be run at 1 event this year, they're going to run at 2. They're going to run at the August race at BNP and then the October race at MIR, the last 2 events. So we'll have them back. And that's just going to be an 8-bike field for the ATVs and a little bit of an exhibition invitational event
Yeah.
for those guys. So they have a lot of fun there and pretty cool listening to them guys going on the track. And some
Oh
of the
man,
guys.
them pro extreme guys, and also as fast as they are, they're very efficient. Like they
Mhm.
don't really cause a whole bunch of drama. They just go up there and shoot right down the racetrack and they're done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very awesome to watch those guys. It looks like it's trying to break the wheelie bars off at 3:30 when they go down through there, which is very enjoyable to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the ATV thing is cool. I will say I'm a little torn in the fact that it brings back nightmares for me of junior dragsters when I worked at Bristol and like hearing
Yeah.
700 of those. But the cool side for me is that growing up as a kid, like Banshee guy. I mean, like
Oh yeah.
and that's
Everybody's
one
rode
of
a Banshee. Yeah.
dude, that's one of my goals is that I will buy a Banshee one day when I got enough fun money because dude, those things are crazy now. You can find them, but they're like 7, 8, 10, 12 grand. It's insane. But I do I liked marveling at the engineering and how serious those guys are with those. It was
And
badass to see.
and they're fun to watch because they
Yeah.
are on the edge of out of control. Like they
Yeah,
zigzag across the track and dart and go on, and
they're
they're
squirrely.
and there's a big following for those. So I see the reason that we need that to get spectators, because we all know that if one guy with a four-wheeler brings in 7 family members, that's good for the series. It's good for the sport. Keeps us a place to race. Just it's all good. We gotta work together and
Right.
try not
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
complain about somebody when you got your own thing going on at the same thing. It's everybody's got to have their piece, their time.
Yeah. Trying to show some diversity of the program and
Yeah.
look at things and stuff. And we really do have a good show, here on Saturday night. A fan can show up and see the fastest top sportsman guys. They can see, make their rounds. They can see some of the best bracket bikes in the business running and finishing the bracket bash, and then seeing, 5 running the bulls classes, seeing Pro Street and Real Street and Pro Extreme and 460 and the ATVs and super stock bikes and grudge. I mean, when you really come in a Saturday night, it's a
Saturday's
great
the
show.
day. That's the day to come.
Yeah, it's
I
a great
mean,
show.
yeah.
And we want to, keep showing everybody that program and trying to keep building a fan base on Saturday night, and and really and put on a great event. And
They'll
that's what
even
we've been
they'll even
trying to
get to
do.
see, usually on Saturday nights they get to see Darnell. So he's
Dude,
Darnell comes out
Darnell.
on Saturday
Now
nights.
Darnell might officially be retired, man. I'm getting
Oh,
old. I'm getting
that's
old.
our mascot.
I
Gotta have
know,
him.
I know. We'll see. I did want to circle back real quick and just touch on something that maybe some people don't know. But just like you talking about making it all work, and I know it's a terribly difficult juggling job, right? Like you said, you're trying to, make the bracket guys happy, the pros happy, I mean, you're juggling multiple kind of segments, niches, as you will, to get everything to work. But I did want to point out that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of is that most of the people, there's pretty much always a Thursday private test session that has got insanely big over the last 2 years. And then, like you said, there's the XDA Friday test session. So, most of the pros are there, heck, Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. I mean, most of the pros are usually there tests on Thursday, Friday. So yeah, it kind of, they had to sacrifice that one qualifier and go down to 3, but I wouldn't think that you probably heard a lot of noise from that, just because most of them have already got a lot of testing in. But
Yeah.
it's just a testament also to all the racers working together and really banding up to make this the way that we all want it to be. And it's just a phenomenal show. And like you said, I don't think anybody's going to be too mad if the final trailer is pulling out the gate 6, 7 o'clock this coming year.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I mean, for the the series between MyRock and IDBL and XDA, through all the banner changes of it, and the pros have pretty much had three qualifiers throughout history of the deal. Most of all the three were on Saturdays, and with weather concerns, sometimes you have weather on Saturdays that comes in the middle of the day or the morning or the evening, or gets you for a good chunk of the day. So the Friday qualifier was added back years back in hopes that if you had some rain on Saturday, you got one of the books on Friday and you get one more Saturday, and at least you can run eliminations on Sunday that way. So we added the one on Friday for turning it into 4 sessions. And that worked out well until the count started really getting up and carnage and everybody pushing their stuff, more competition naturally pushes people a little bit harder in terms of their tune-ups and things. And so we just have to adjust with that and the program. So, like you said, between so many of the pros and bulls and grudge and even sportsmen that are testing on Thursday and Friday, they're getting the track time. Not everybody's making 4 qualifiers. A lot of them making 3. So we want to make those 3, good sessions that all counts, run them at the time of the day that they need to run for they ready for Sunday, and still put a show one Saturday night for the fans with that 7 o'clock qualifier. So we really like the program this year, and just keep adjusting as we go and keep making the program better and better every year for all the racers. And like you said, that's the big juggling act. I mean, with between pro and sportsman and grudge and keeping everybody happy. The good news is majority of folks understand the dynamic and that you need to have all 3 there. And a lot of people send in input. They talk to us at the races, pull me aside. Hey, what are your thoughts on this? And I'll email myself a note. Hey, I like that idea. We get a lot of input off the off season, and then people email in input during the season. So anytime anybody has some ideas, definitely feel free, shoot me an email, grab me at the event, and give me your input. And we always take that in consideration. And there's been actually every one of the ideas that we have, all the changes this year, every single one of them came from a racer that has suggested. Some a few, some from a lot. And sometimes certain people send off some wacky stuff and things, and and then we just kind of filter through that stuff. But most understand what we have to do and the growing pains of going through and just keep improving the program. So that's what we've done.
You're also trying to make it where your workers ain't doing your jobs. You know what I mean? Like their jobs for XDA or whatever. They're working their tail off. Like we're there having a great time, and they're working. They're working a job, so they don't want to be there until 11 p.m. on a Sunday or whatever, So
Well, all our XDA staff, they know the deal. They know what they signed up for. They love bikes. They love our racers. All our XDA staff, they've been doing this for a long time, really good at it, and stuff. Sometimes the track guys, and stuff that work in various positions, EMTs or gate staff, or just different water box guys or things like that. Some of them have been on the track for a few months. Some of them have been there for a few years, and stuff. So, want to take that in consideration some, but for the most part, they're troopers, and things. But you do want to try to weigh in on that a little bit. The objective is not to shorten these programs up for the staff per se, but
it's just
a
a
good program
perk
for the racers is a good program for our staff as well, and stuff. So that's what
we got to have a well-oiled machine, and everybody go down the racetrack, everybody happy,
right.
Everybody get home. I mean, normally in the past, I'd pull up in my driveway and the sun's coming up. So it'd be nice to get home and it's still dark so I can go to bed instead of just staying awake.
I've been there and done that. I remember being at Rockingham, at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday and taking the winter circle pictures, and then they had a 6-hour drive back home and so on, and and back at 4 or 5 a.m. after we loaded up and stuff. So I've been there. I know that feeling.
You might get to do that again in 2025. You never know.
I forgot what side the clutch was on. Is that on the right or the left? It's been a while.
I think Dustin was talking about
racing at Rockingham.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, I still want to get you on the bike. We can do that.
We got plenty of bikes. You let us know. You let us know. We can outfit you.
It's crazy how many people come up to me at different times and certain conversations we sparked, and they're like, "You used to ride bikes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I used to ride bikes and stuff." and especially all these young guys coming up, and these 20, 30 somethings, and so on, were really young. Back shoot, the last year I raced was damn near 20 years ago. It's been 18 years.
Now you're
And
talking about how old you are. You better
I
quit.
know, right? 18 years. And so it's been a minute. But
Hey,
yeah, we
I
This
want to
can
get
year.
back to
go
we
ahead.
definitely want to get back to Rockingham.
Oh
I
yeah.
talk to Dan Van Horn all the time. They just resurfaced the racetrack there, so we're gonna try to get some Pro Street guys down there this year, do some testing and make some laps. We're down to Wilford territory, so let's get a bit
Yeah.
of them down there and see if we can't get some of them to send it through the traps there and make sure everything's all in a good order there for Pro Street
Yeah.
bikes. If a Pro Street bike can run a rip through there, anybody else can too. And we're working with AccuTime on some of the updated programs that they're working on this year. So there's some programs that we have at XDA with the CompuLink timing system that AccuTime is trying to develop right now. Once they get all that stuff straight, then XDA can be doable. If not, then there's some programs that we have that we can't execute right now and things. So we got to get some of those things working on. And Chris is working with AccuTime right now on getting those things
Wow.
handled for
That
this year. And
that's something I never thought about. The way you
yeah.
do things, your
Mhm.
process has to have that certain kind of, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
good to
yeah,
know.
yeah. So we get all that handled, and Dan and Al down in Rockingham have already worked on the racing surface and building a rubber base back up there. So excited to see once the weather breaks here a little bit more, get some fast bikes down there, and
Oh, they're
get
doing an
that done.
outstanding job. They ain't got no
Yep,
quit in them. They're
yep,
doing
yep.
something every week to that place, and we
Yeah,
all have a soft spot for that racetrack, right?
Oh
Especially
my
your
gosh.
racers. I mean, man, that's where we all started. I started there, so I
that's
love it
right.
there.
I mean, nothing against our great tracks at Budds
Oh
Creek and
no, yeah,
VMP. It's really not. But like I got my first big win at Rockingham and have always, it's one that we all as racers have tracks that just like it seems like you always do good at a certain track, regardless. And
yeah,
Right.
it could be the shittiest track you've ever been to, but you
yeah,
love it if you do good, right?
yeah,
And
That's right. Yeah,
obviously as years went along and all and Rockingham just didn't have as much upkeep, but like you were saying, just from all last year and then even like Dustin said, there's no quit. I don't know those guys. Obviously you do, Jason, but like just hearing a little bit like so there was a little bit of murmurs that the track wasn't as perfectly smooth as great as it needed to be when some bikes went there last year and probably cars too, but like it seemed like every month they were doing something and working on it, even through last year. Like they're trying to
yeah,
get through a season, but still continuously working on it. And that's all I needed to see. Like
yeah.
you can't always nail stuff 100%, whether it's a new event, new series, new whatever. But like Dustin said, there's zero quit and just the amount of effort and honestly time and money that they are spending down there is it's every week you see them updating something. So I'm
Got to
looking forward to
respect it.
that too. And
Got to
yeah,
respect it.
as Dustin
for
said,
sure.
that's a good point you made too about the timing systems. It's like y'all need to realize there's a lot to do behind the scenes with these races and series, and that's even something I forgot about. So a little knowledge for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things are small things, but some of the things are important things. And when it comes to a time system, is a great timing system. AccuTime is, and there's a lot of really cool things that it does, as well, and things. But some of the ladder breaks and so forth that instead of 8, 16, 32, et cetera, can't do different ones between those. We need those for 460 in particular. There's I don't want to go through all the changes, but there are a few things that they're working to develop in those. Some of the things they've already got handled and so forth in place, but Al and Dan went in and just reprofiled the racetrack and just polished it. So they said it's very, very smooth right now. So like I said, on the weather breaks, we'll get some guys down there, make some rips on that. And I just want to make sure all our T's are crossed and I's are dotted before we bring a 700 bike machine down there with XDA and run a good program. We want to make sure the customer has the same experience, whether they're at MIR or Rockingham or Virginia. And they've put up new buildings. They've redone their
Oh yeah.
concession. They got bar areas, showers,
RV hookups.
RV hookups, all
Yeah,
kinds of things, not just the racing surface. And
yeah.
Dan and Al, we've known for quite some time. They're Mopar racers, and they even lease MIR for one of their events up here and such. And good racers, good guys. And like you said, you saw from their efforts, they've been there at Rockingham and what all they're doing in that place. So we're excited to get there. It's just getting the timing right.
Yeah,
And
You was talking about Rockingham, and it made me go ding, little light bulb. Like, I know one day we're going to get back down there, you know. But I do. I'm serious. You're going to ride my bike one race this
I've
year
won,
somewhere.
I've won more races at Rockingham than I did at MIR. And
See,
I
I
race.
probably have won a lot at Rockingham, but MIR will always be my favorite track. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the blue crabs or what. I think I
Foxy
think
Fish
Foxy
restaurant, right?
Fish gets me
Yeah.
there. You're just a perk of the deal. You know what I mean?
Race and I ate there just 2 days ago. So.
Damn you. That's my favorite place in the whole world, man. I love that place.
That's how we've seen Thursday testing grow, you know, like we've been doing that tradition now for years. It's like used to be the private test session was, you know, 10, 15 bikes and 20, 25. Then next thing you know, it's like you don't even know how many bikes. It's crazy. They got to cap it. It's like it sells out, I think now. So
Yeah, yeah, yep.
that's
Well,
wild. That's
especially the
wild.
first race, right? Because a lot of people that's up north ain't got to test. So they actually do
Oh
that
yeah.
track rental to get their ducks in a row for the weekend. So it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The yeah, our purse this year is right at 90K still per race. So we're 500 over $500,000 in payouts this year, and our contingency program has grown a bit. We're up to 153,000 in the contingency program
That's
for
crazy.
2024, and there's still a couple more I'm waiting on that I'm supposed to send in the sheets, so that could get north of 200K in the contingency program this year possibly, and you want to keep your eyes and ears open for that there and such. So yeah, we got just under 4 weeks left until the kickoff. We're going to do our award ceremony at the first race again, honoring our champions from last year, as well as all of our top 10 racers. And Ralphie from Platinum General Services is going to be giving away $1,000 on stage in cash, like we do every year with free raffle tickets for everybody that's present at the stage gets a free ticket and a shot at winning. We're going to do 10 $100 awards again. And honor all champions. We're bringing the bleachers up around the stage, and we stop racing for about 30 minutes on Saturday and get that taken care of. That's part of the program we look forward to each year, honoring those.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
always kind of
cool.
forget that. So it's awesome. Thanks for the reminder. I gotta
Yeah.
walk up there in front of everybody.
Well, it is really cool though. I mean, because to get up there and I mean a good amount of racers, unless they're just, you know, wrenching on something that has to be done. But you usually see most everybody there, and it is a crowd
Yeah.
of people that come up, and it just kind of goes to show how much of a family and close knit group, which is a lot to say because it's such a big group as a whole. But we just come together and, you know, cheer on everybody and, you know, get to reap the rewards of a hard earned and, you know, a lot of time spent season year before, right before we kick it off and go again. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we put just probably a little over 1,000 people, I would say, is around the stage when we do the award ceremony, and it's good for even the folks that aren't on the stage that didn't place in the top 10, and they get to see, the accolades and the hardware that everyone gets up there, and you know they're like, you know, it's the first race of the year, and it happens on Saturday. You know, hey, I got to make this weekend count, so I want to be up there next year and hit all 6 races and run your best, and hopefully you make that top 10 for your class and get that hardware.
I want to make it clear that if you're top 10 at XDA, that's doing something. And I race a lot of places. So if you've ever been on that stage or if you ever want to be on that stage, getting there really does mean something. So make sure that you give it 110 and don't give up and keep fighting for it because it's worth it.
That's right. That's right. And
Yeah, it's hard to do that, hard to land a top 10 spot. And it's funny, you know, like Dustin said, you hear a lot of people, at least around XDA, that like that's their goal, you know, especially with Dustin and I having this you know, the online bracket racing school now. It's like, you know, just making top 10 is a big deal. It's not like you're saying, hey, I'm going to go to my local track and try and go top 10. And then somebody finds out that, you know, you're usually getting 7 or 8 bikes. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You're doing it with the elite. You gotta, you know, it's not easy to do. So if you do it, make sure you're proud of yourself because you've done something. Sure.
I'm curious right now. I want to pull it up here. We had in Pro ET last year. I'm curious how many bikes we had in that category.
it's
That's
a
our
lot.
Had to be 150 plus, right?
Who won that again?
242.
200.
242.
Wow. 242
Yeah, you
different
make
Pro ET racers throughout the year. That's nuts, man.
yeah,
Wow.
you make top 10 in that. You've done something.
You
And
damn right you did. What I'm saying. And
even
what's
the
bad
street.
is 232 of them are bad dudes. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
ain't no rookies out there.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, we got a good program. We had 26 guys in Pro Street all year duking it out for the top 10 spots, and top 10 from Pro Street get invited to the World Cup Finals in November. Um,
That is
and raised in front of
huge.
50,000 people. And so Mark Windeluke won last year at the World Cup, and he had a hell of a year last year, first year
And
season.
Yeah.
he wanted it that way too. Our first year out, he thought he was going to just kill it, and man, he did. He
Yeah,
did a great he did a great job.
he's only like what 26 points or 27 points away from the championship over Rodney Wilford.
Yeah,
In Pro
dethroning
Street.
the king. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
so
closer too because he missed out on an earlier. It wouldn't have changed, but he missed. He didn't tell Chris that his points weren't correct. He missed the window.
Yeah.
yeah.
He'd have been
You got
like
to
9 points or something. I think it didn't actually. He still was second, but he'd have been
right.
even closer. And
Yeah.
yeah, we had Mark on and him telling me and Dustin his goals
I
and
remember
stuff.
that.
We were like, "Are you shitting me?" We're like, "Please."
Yeah.
We're like, "Can you not set goals for this year because it's going to be hard to repeat?" And yeah, it's
Mm.
something else. It's something else for sure.
That's why
But
we
like you
raised.
said, those Pro Street guys, like that is huge getting to run at, getting the chance to go to World Cup and race. I mean, look, I'll be flat out honest. It wouldn't be a deciding factor, but I would have to think long and hard if Real Street did the same thing. I might have to come back. Might have to come back.
I
I'm not
think we need
racing
media
enough.
credentials for that race. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord Almighty.
Shoot me an
That's
email. We
another
get you some
subject.
credentials. We get you some
All right.
credentials.
I mean, we'll be
Well,
walking through there. I'll get me a straw hat. We'll be living it. We'll be
Neither
getting all
one of y'all
kinds of
been to
reviews.
World Cup before, haven't you?
I have not. No, I have
you
not.
tried to get me to work one time, and I almost did. I
I pay
almost
for.
did.
I always pay to watch it on like Flow. I always pay to watch it,
Yeah.
but yeah, exactly.
That might be something we do because we were talking a little bit beforehand, but I just applied for I won't say what or when or why, but I just applied for some media credentials. So maybe Red Hill will try and cover some Pro Street
Okay.
action. We'll have to get
There's
back
a
with
lot
you
of
on
cool
that.
stuff there. We have a lot of genres and a lot of different diversity in the categories and so on. And obviously Pro Street, everybody knows what those bikes are there and get to go to the event. But when 1320 Video or Racing Channel or DRS, I mean some of these media companies have millions of followers and so on,
Yeah.
and they're out there and they got a mic in front of our XDA folks and at the event, and watching them out here making mid to low 6 second laps at 230 mile an hour. I mean, the crowd is just blown away by this, and it's good exposure for the XDA, good exposure for our
Yeah.
racers.
Yeah,
And
shedding some light on us, our badasses. Yeah, it's awesome.
We've had
Yeah.
some videos that some of these folks have posted and had millions of views, from our Pro Street racers at World Cup, and it's pretty cool, and just gives them that platform, on that big stage. We had 56,000 people last year over 5 days at World Cup. And so it's our big event at the end of the year to before we settle in for the winter. And
Yeah, I was trying to get Jason Dunnigan to stick Cletus on his bike at World Cup.
Cletus would do it.
I know. That's what I'm
He'd do it with a half
saying.
helmet on with the
Oh
flag off
God.
the back, and
It would be hilarious.
Yeah, and he'd come off the bike at the 40-foot mark too. I'm sure.
Yeah, I can see him now, brother.
Man, that's well, hey, that's like you said, that it's great publicity and a lot of people don't realize how good that is for the XDA and the racers as
Yeah.
a whole. I mean, Dustin, I said we're not going to get into it, but I mean that's one of our goals with the show is like we've not been perfect in the past. There's probably been times we've been a pain in the ass. There's probably times that you can think and be like, you guys were assholes back.
Oh yeah,
in
Jason's one choked me
XYZ.
out before for
But
sure.
nowadays we definitely feel like we're trying really hard to, we just want to bring positivity because we love this as much as you do, and we know that you do the XDA, you and Chris and most of the staff. I mean, it's family, and y'all do it out of passion. For the most part, it's a passion of yours, as you said. Or as Dustin's been egging you on, trying to get you on a bike. Like you're a bike racer. Some of you young cats don't remember that, but Jason used to race bikes with the best of them. So yeah, it's just
one
really
pass
cool.
and he'd want to make another one. Promise.
I'd probably be like, this
We'd
shit's
just turn the
slow.
nitrous on the second one. Make it
Yeah.
go.
I'm used to about a 50 horsepower dirt bike right now. It's about the most power that I ride right now on two wheels. So yeah, a little
be all
different
right.
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
power to weight ratio.
Back
It's
when I
about
used
the
to
same.
race, I remember back when I used to race and if I have a wheelie or go towards a wall or whatever, and people say you're crazy, and I'll be like, yeah, you're just used to it. And then now I watch real street or pro street or any category really going down there and getting a little crazy and a little drama on the track, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. There ain't no way I can do
Yeah.
that. So
Well,
it's been
those
off of them
bikes,
for too long.
they are wild. Like especially Pro Street, like they make moves at the finish line that would put people in the ditch. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of you got to respect those guys. I mean, I was just the other day making a post about Brett. When he had his little deal, and he comes out there the next morning for first round and makes a lap. It's a PB. Like there's a lot of people that ain't got the brass to even do that, and he did it, and it's awesome. So.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like you see some of the guys that come in, that are really good riders, and uh, that haven't rode a pro street bike before, or just have this natural skill, and they get in here, they can send them. And most of the guys, been riding them for so long, they've just kind of gotten more in tune with the bikes over the years. The bikes picked up. I mean, I remember back the last year I raced was in 06, and in 09, Demi had a pro street bike, and he had one of his relatives when he touched the heart failure and couldn't be at the race. So Andy still brought the bike and hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to ride the bike?" And this was in 09. And so I only been off the bike 3 years. And I said, "Yeah, I can jump on it." So I did. And Demi had been like, I can't remember how fast, low sevens on the bike. And I got on it and I figured I would, be somewhere around his ballpark. And I never rode a pro street bike before. I had a 60-inch bike, and
Yeah.
stuff. And these bikes were a lot longer, but everything happened so fast on a pro street bike, shift points and so much quicker. And I couldn't muster up a mid sevens on the bike. And it took me all weekend to even get close to that. I was so far behind, lost first round. And I just had a different level of respect. And now the bikes are a second faster than that.
It's
And
nuts, man.
it's just, they're insane. And the bulls, I mean, these bikes in the 8th mile are running insane numbers. And so there's just a lot of respect for these guys that can send those bikes. There's a lot to happen in a very short amount of time.
They're risking their damn life. That's what they're doing.
They're
And it's
pretty
awesome
insane.
to watch. That's the show. Come see it Saturday
That's
night.
right.
That's it.
Hey,
Right.
I
That's
gotta
right.
I gotta high five you there. You stepped around that one real good. I thought I might go back and edit that. You were like some of these grudge guys in the 8th mile, and I'm like, uh-oh, and you're like tiptoe, tiptoe,
Yeah.
tiptoe right around
Us
it.
racers kind of
Yeah.
know, but anyway,
Yeah.
they're
Oh
fast.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
fast as heck.
Yeah.
Fast as
All
heck.
right. Jason, I think you've got all our stuff cleared up. Everybody's kind of got a preview of what to expect in 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm sure you got things to do. I think you had some plans.
Yeah.
So
This
we'll
this is
let
a
you
busy man for sure.
yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity, guys, and thanks for having me on. And maybe we'll have to do a mid-season one, talk about
Oh,
where
yeah.
different guys are at in the season and stuff like that. And that'd be great.
Well,
Oh yeah, we can
we'll
do it.
we'll do the next Red Hill Racing podcast with Jason Miller as soon as he dons the leathers once again. That'll
There we go.
we'll get that. You can pick. You can ride the Dustin's bike or mine, but mine you probably want earplugs.
My bike on motor would be
Actually,
nothing. It'd be fine.
that's what you should do because I've yet to hear my bike go down the track. So if you want to do the honors, I mean it's
Put me on a
legit
loud
easy.
bike right away, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but then I can hear it because everybody's like, it doesn't matter what time it is, where
Mhm.
we're at the track. We know when you go down the track.
They're accurate. They're accurate.
Seriously, that's something I got to do that this year. I got to put somebody on it because I got to hear it. I mean,
I-
I hear it, but I don't hear it.
yeah.
We got 700 prime folks at XDA for that to happen anytime you want.
Yeah, well, I don't want. I can't do open auditions now. We got to have a select little group here. I'm sure we'd have plenty of volunteers if I
Now
did
we
open
have hinted around the
auditions.
idea if me and Ben ever met in the finals to do those switcheroo. We just get off our bikes and swap before we
That'd be
stage.
pretty cool.
We've
Oh
thought about
well,
that.
it's on video. You just said pretty cool. Our whole thing was like, how mad will Jason be when that happens?
It's
Oh
a
man.
final. It's a final. I think that could be pretty cool.
All right. We might do that.
Note taken. Note taken.
Yeah.
That'll be a decade before Dustin and I ever do that again. So, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you go,
All right,
man.
guys.
Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks,
As
Jason.
always, if y'all need
Right on.
anything or need to get a hold of Jason, you email him. Email Jason if you need him. Do not send him messages on Facebook. He ain't got time for that BS. So, if you got any questions, email Jason. All you got to really do is head to xdaracing.com because all the info's on there. I will challenge everybody this. If you have not been to an XDA event ever, first off, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but you need to go. And if you have missed one for a couple years, make it a point to come out and hang out with us this year. Yeah, you know, even if you're the delay box guy from out in you know, flat country in the middle of the U.S. I mean, hey, we got room. Y'all can come over, take them boxes off, and hit
Water's
the
fine.
bottom. Hit the
Come on
bottom.
in.
We'll even feed you some food and some cold beers in the evening.
There you go.
That's right. That's
All
right.
Do
right.
golf cart willies.
All right. You got anything else, bud?
Well, I look forward to seeing everybody. Make sure you follow us at XDA Racing on the social media channels. Website's xdaracing.com. Like I said, Ben, you know, shoot me an email. That way I can CC my staff or forward an email to somebody in the department needs to handle something. And, you know, we just want to have some good old racing, give away a bunch of cash. We're over $500,000 this year going out at XDA events. And we're going to shake some hands in the winner circle and have some fun.
Get some
Making
babies.
memories. That's what we're doing, guys. Making
That's
memories.
right.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks a lot, Jason.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Take
See
care,
ya.
guys. Have a good night.